about to turn it on. We about to turn it on. We about to turn it on.
Much of herself.
Hello.
That I feel like.
Hello.
I hope. Woo. Okay. Just in case that was a bad conversation. How are y'all doing?
Talking shit.
Talking shit.
We weren't talking about you, that's for sure.
You better not have. I'm
No,
tired
my
of people
cat's being
talking about
annoying.
me. Just saying.
No.
Over it.
Oh my god. What's going on, chat? How you going? We have McMuffin Gaming Witch, Draconian Nutter, Rasmutas, Spectre, hi. I wasn't going directly at you last night, so don't take offense to that.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Do not sit
Hello
here.
there.
Oh, God.
My name-
Do not sit here and lie.
Medley Sager wins. We got Juan, Twilney, we've got Nerdy, what's up? Belsy, hello. Fairy Floss, Passion, Sabrina. Hey, what's going on? Sally gets biased. How you doing? Period, point blank, period,
We
y'all.
stand. Xylie gets biased here.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Oh
Barry.
my
Barry says, I just watched the stream from last night. It was a roller coaster. Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It was something.
You know what?
Yeah.
Every time I use the cursed thumbnail of Chill Stream or put Chill Stream in the title, something always pops off.
It's insane. Like, I thought it was like just a, I guess a myth or a legend that it happens every time, but it really does happen every
Yeah.
time.
And do you know
And
other
you just-
people try to name their streams Chill Stream and hoping they get the same thing? No. Doesn't happen.
That's Xylie's curse. Nobody else's.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was a true chill stream. That's right, Anston.
Oh, man. My Chill Streams are legendary.
That's
Legendary shit. But that's okay. At the end of the day, as long as everybody is okay, we are
the-
good.
End of the day.
I feel like there were some fatalities last night, though, and I'm still mourning. But
Bro.
Now the Gaming Witch is now petitioning to de-wrench Map Pit. Oh,
No, we can't de-wrench Matt Pitt. Now, we can't do all that. We can't take Matt's wrench away. We can't. do
No,
that.
you
know
can't
what?
have a small window and no wrench. Like, that's a
Exactly.
lot.
Yeah, you can't put that on top of missing limbs and stuff. That's just not right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Come
no,
on.
it was an exciting night last night. You know what was funny? Because Beavers and Matt were timed out in the Discord, they ended up calling me Jaded and Rynnie because he was like, well, we saw y'all in there and I wanted to talk to y'all. So we ended up doing a group call. I was like, what are you doing? Well, I couldn't talk to y'all and I saw y'all in there.
It's funny because they've got their own Discord where everyone's available to talk in there, and it's kind of like,
Oh, I'm not. I got banned out of that Discord last night.
Yeah.
Oh no! Is that retributions for that or something?
Beavers banned me. I was like, I'm okay. I don't never talk in there. It's all good. It's
Yeah.
all good.
That's right. What's
Little
going on
shits.
there?
I went to a doctor today and we got a plan, so hopefully, I can get stuff that I need done. Hopefully.
Yay.
Hey.
And you're not dying, which
I'm
is
not
great.
dying. Yes.
That's the best news.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am alive. He did tell me though, I did get to him on time because something about like my kidneys pushing out proteins. It was to the point where my kidneys were basically screaming out, "Hey, we're going to break, and we're going to shut down." Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
He said my
Dang,
kidneys are
pop out.
fine, but it was at like the warning stage of, yo, you better straighten up.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good thing you caught it in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like this doctor. That's the most important thing. Because the last doctor I had, I literally walked out on his ass. Literally.
Yeah, it's so rare to find a good doctor.
Yeah.
I'm like anti-doctors. I fucking hate doctors.
He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. He keeps telling me I keep trying to find your YouTube channel, and I was like, you don't want to find my YouTube channel. You don't wanna do it. And I told him about
He's
my
gonna have
med-
you on all kinds of psych meds.
I told him, I said, now listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I haven't been taking that one medicine that's a shot because I'm scared of needles. And he was like, what? I was like, listen, in this relationship, I am being open and honest, okay? So I demand respect. And he started laughing at me. He gets me. He gets me.
That is so good.
That's good.
Yeah.
My God, I had a terrible doctor myself.
Hey guys,
where it's like, ooh.
No, sorry.
No, it's okay. There was like, I think it was like when I was looking after my brother one night. I was kind of young, and so he came over to my place and just sort of hung out and stayed and whatever. And then like it almost got to like bedtime, and I was just in so much pain. I was crying. I was like cramped over and that sort of stuff. And I'm like, I just don't understand what this pain is, and I'm like sweating and almost throwing up. And it was like the most horrible experience. Then
Ugh.
the next morning went to the doctor, and this is like a bulk billing place. So it's like one of those ones where you just go in and you just meet the doctor once and they're just like, yeah, whatever, take this, and I probably won't see you again or whatever. And the doctor was like, I said, I think something's wrong, like with my insides. Like it was like really, really painful, like in the center, and then it moved to my left side.
Yeah.
And during the morning, and he was like, I don't think it's appendicitis. So just relax, and then take some pain medication and just go home. And then my friend, as soon as we got out of there, she goes, nah, we're going to the emergency room. This is ridiculous. And I'm like, all right. So we went to the emergency room. Turned out it was appendicitis. And
You
if I
could have
didn't
died. You dealt with that for 14 fucking days. You could have died.
Yep. It was actually so close to bursting, and I had like complications during the surgery as well. So I was inside the hospital for about 2 weeks.
Oh my!
So it was
God.
yeah. That's why I'm all stuffed up with foods and like my stomach and stuff like that. I literally can't like eat certain foods. And, like I've been on this low FODMAP diet for freaking ever, and it's just like because of that one surgery and because of how close it was to bursting, it really fucked me up. So like if I had not gone to emergency, like some shit would have went down. So
oh my God,
doctors sometimes don't fucking know shit, and it's really good to get a good doctor. So I'm really happy that you've got one.
Yeah, I am too. One quick little thing of news. Guess 2 hours ago who is now a member of my Just Saying squad again?
Oh, hey.
Nietzsche.
Niche gang.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Actually, they popped up in a stream yesterday on Peepause, didn't they? Like this morning.
I know Gracial did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nietzsche was in chat.
No, I was looking at Nietzsche. I just read
morning.
it. I thought it was Nice, as in Nice Lone Wolf, and then I was like, wait a minute, it's Nietzsche. So
there you go, popping back up.
Yeah.
Doing the rounds.
Oh God. Okay, so today we are gonna watch the Do We Know Them podcast, and it's called Addressing Everything, and it's addressing their video where they interviewed Johnny Silvestri. Okay, I'm gonna make this clear though. All right, I'm gonna make this clear from the very beginning. Although she was a little shady in here, and I'm like, girl, you need to stop. They could have just done this part and on, okay? And they didn't. We're sorry. 44 minutes is where this video should have started and just went on from there, okay? Yeah. But I will say I'm not mad at them or H3 for their interview with Johnny. Because if it wasn't for their interviews with Johnny, Swoop wouldn't have found out some of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
She already had like the DMs and stuff like that, but it just added more to the fact that he was lying. So I'm not mad at them over the interview. I'm not.
It's just like reaching out for other people and getting their side of the story as well, instead of just sticking with the one and believing it gospel.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That's just
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's interesting.
Yep. So, put a 1 in the chat if y'all are ready to get started. Please. If you put another number, I'm ignoring you. The rest of the chat. I like how the broads were the first one to put the 1s. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm so ready.
They're like, bitch, get the train rolling. All right, let's go.
Hey guys, this isn't going to be a normal intro because this is not a normal episode. We just wanted to take a moment to address some stuff that has been going on the last few days. Because there's going to be some people who haven't kept up with what's going on, we're just going to give a brief summary as to why we're here and what we're talking about and what we're addressing. But basically, Swoop is a documentary style creator on this platform, and she has been covering the Colleen Ballinger saga recently and talking to all of the victims. She has...
Okay, does everybody in this room know who the one girl is? What's her name? Jessie Smiles.
Jessie Smiles. Yeah.
Yeah. Gabby Hanna Nemesis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that whole saga.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because
been also talking to Johnny.
She did like this massive video or whatever where she was just literally sitting there crying in front of the camera, but as like a candid shot. So it looked really like put on as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
And she is part of the reason why that whole Gabby Hanna movement happened in the commentary community.
right. Yeah.
Nicholas Diorio is her biggest fan, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here we go.
Silvestri, who's someone we had on this podcast, we interviewed about his story with Colleen Ballinger, Joshua David Evans, and Corey DeSoto. So he sat down here.
You didn't miss anything, Aiko. We just started.
Spoke to us, and her latest video revealed a lot of lies that he told not only to us, but to her, to H3 Podcast, to many platforms. He lied to victims, he lied to Adam, he lied to Becky, Ollie, everybody. So this has been a lot to process. The video itself is over 4 hours long, so people are
3 hours, 58 minutes, and
So
16
yeah,
seconds.
over 4 hours. It's like,
Now, granted, it took me like 8 hours to watch the damn thing because I was taking
Yeah.
notes, but it felt like over 4. I mean, only because of that. But honestly, when I went to, okay, that's weird. Honestly, Nick just joined Just Saying Squad. Honestly, I will say that when I watched it back, because I went and did a now recording episode about the Johnny Silvestri thing, right? When I went back and watched it, it didn't feel like 4 hours. Like when I just watched it to watch it and not take notes or anything like that, it didn't feel like 4 hours. It flowed very well.
Yeah, that's, as I said before, that's a massive testament to Swoop, because I would literally would have turned off about 40 minutes to an hour in if it was something else. That,
Yeah, I was captivated the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah. She did really well.
Yep.
a little bit upset at how long it took us to respond to this. I was not in town, full transparency. It was my birthday on Thursday and my son's birthday on Friday, and we left to a cabin in the woods with, coincidentally, horrendous signal, and it was the worst weekend ever. And we were...
All right, chat, make sure y'all got gift membership setting on. The Sugar Mama is coming in like a wrecking ball. Damn, Gaming Witch. Okay.
Gaming Witch.
Okay.
She came in like a wrecking ball. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
I love that song. I love that song. Don't clip
I
it
love
either,
Riley.
Eva. I don't trust you.
No, you should
Nah,
totally clip it.
I'm totally clipping that. That's going to be on our upload coming up on Saturday. Trust me.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. We're
Wait,
not
what's
friends.
the timestamp right now? We're at 17:24. Gotcha.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's go.
We're just trying to figure out what was going on.
We did not know about it at all before Thursday. Otherwise, we absolutely would have tried to prepare something so we didn't have to take this long, but we didn't feel comfortable with one of us answering. I did put up a kind of placeholder statement that I think...
Yeah, Gaming Witch, you can only do a certain amount of money in 24 hours, and you had a time yesterday, so yeah.
upset people more, including Joshua David Evans, who is Colleen's ex-husband, who Johnny did accuse of several things in our interview. And for that, we do want to apologize for not including Joshua in the statement. We did acknowledge in the statement that we were going to film a video and discuss this further. We didn't specify that.
You know, after watching Swoop's video, that's what kind of like, I kind of got into it with some, not bad. They didn't like come at me really hard, but I kind of got into it with some people on Twitter when they made their statement and he responded the way he did on Twitter. I was like, he had every right to respond that way. After watching Swoop's video and you didn't even put his name in the I'm sorry? What?
Yeah, cucked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Joshua was the reason we were going to be doing that.
Yeah, I think he's one of the main things we want to address, and it just felt kind of impossible to properly address him and our intentions towards addressing everything that's gone on this podcast in any sort of condensed way. It just felt like it wasn't the right thing to do, but also can see how he felt upset by not being acknowledged at all. So it was just definitely an oversight on our part, and we should have included him in our statement. And
Yeah, you should. But you know what? It's a good thing they're saying that. You know, hindsight. Listen, as long as you learn something, it's never too late. Okay?
our intentions in addressing him.
Completely. And as we said, the video is 4 hours long. And if you've watched it, you know that there is a lot of information in it. We didn't really feel comfortable talking about it until we had had the chance to watch it and to process all this new information that has now come to light.
Yeah, I think it changes a lot of things. And the confusing part is that it doesn't change some other things. To be completely clear, we have things to own up to. We have things to apologize for, and we have things to change for the future so that we don't end up here again. So we acknowledge that fully. And although I wish it was this clear path to Johnny lied about everything, we platformed him, that was just a fuck up. It was, and there's also more to it that I feel in the name of trying to figure out what the fuck happened here, what is the truth, it's worth looking into, it's worth talking about and having a conversation about to fully understand the big picture, because this is a mess. And although we...
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I think what she did, I feel like I have done the same thing before. You're talking to a victim, being that you sometimes take it in as very personal, okay?
Yeah.
And you get overzealous, and that's how I feel that interview was conducted.
Yeah, and I mean, you really wouldn't expect somebody to lie about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Exactly. And been there, done that. So I kind of understand that part, but it's how you fix it afterwards. And after watching that Swoop video, he should have been added that apology because, listen, he might be sussy in other areas. Fine, okay? We'll break those down and find those out. But he was literally being accused of being a groomer, and it was obvious he was not. I mean, it was obvious once everything came out, you know? It was obvious he wasn't. He should have been included in that apology. So...
We are not going to be discussing lies in depth that he told on other platforms. We are going to be talking about lies that he told on our platform. And the reason we're not going to go into depth of all of the things that he was discovered doing and being a hypocrite about is for the sake of time. We are going to link Swoop's video if you want to see the full context of everything he's lied about and that she discovered. There's a lot of troubling information about Johnny being in group chats himself with minors, things that just completely blew my mind. I could not fathom that he would sit on our show, look at us in the face, and like kind of bond over the fact that we're like, who would have anything in common with a 13-year-old? And he's like, I know, right? And then it was him. So it's been a weird process of trying to understand how deep his lies go, what his motive was. This has been a really confusing and frustrating time for everybody, for sure.
Absolutely. And again, we didn't know about any of it before, and we will explain the reasons we felt we had to believe him and why we didn't doubt him. But I know that, for example, he also did a lot of comparing his story to other victims, which does a huge disservice. When he did come on our show, I don't know how much it made it into the final cut, he was comparing his experience that he claimed to Jesse's past experiences. It's just been confusing and just upsetting.
Oh.
He's so slimy.
Wait.
Which does a huge disservice. When he did come on our show, I don't know how much it made it into the final cut, he was comparing his experience that he claimed to Jesse's past.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
I can't believe that. It's like one thing to compare your experience to other people in a sort of similar kind of, roundabout way. But to completely compare your situation to someone else's that has nothing to do with it. Like, he's literally and he did the same thing to Swoop as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that's like pro manipulation tactic right there, because they're automatically going to feel sympathy for him if he's bringing in their own trauma.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit, yo.
Past experiences. It's just been confusing and just upsetting to kind of process all of it. But we want to kind of take you through our thought process and explain where we may have gone wrong. So to start going through the series of events that have led us here, Swoop came out with her video on Thursday morning, I believe. And we did start getting tweets and notifications from people telling us that we were mentioned in it. And we both did start watching and tried to watch as much as we could, as fast as we could. But again, it was 4 hours and it was a lot to process. I did put out a very short statement on my Twitter just acknowledging that we were aware that this was out. And the following day, I did put out a statement that many of you may have read. I put it on the community tab of this channel, and then I also put...
I'm not reading all that. I'm letting you know now. It's the same one. I think it's the same one she put on Twitter, to be honest.
It on the pinned comment because we had pre-filmed our content for Friday and Monday. Jesse was still out of town, so we didn't want to put out a statement when we weren't both on the same page and fully aware of everything and aligned.
It didn't feel like the appropriate thing to like hastily respond, even though that is what we were being urged to do. It was like, what is your response? You need to answer this.
Do not listen to your audience. Okay? Do not let your audience run your channel.
Yeah, don't let them dictate what you need to do and how you need to do it.
Exactly. It's better to take your time and make a proper statement than hastily do one.
Yep,
Yeah, otherwise you'll end up like Colleen with the friggin' ukulele.
Yes. Do not let your audience does not run your channel.
But we just felt like this feels like the opposite of what we should do right now. I feel like we need to take a pause, look at what's happening, watch Swoop's video. If you watch it just once, you're going to miss something. There's a lot of information very quickly. So it's something you need to really let soak in. And we wanted to be able to do that. So we put in that, for lack of a better term, like placeholder statement. And then that night after, I think like maybe less than an hour after we posted our statement, Joshua David Evans put out a statement to us on his Twitter.
And it says, Lily and Jesse, you treated me like garbage even after I pleaded privately and publicly for you to at least consider giving me a voice.
He had every right to write this too.
Yep.
He had every
Yep.
fucking right to write this.
Cried for days. You rolled your eyes and didn't do your homework. You didn't care how this would impact my life. You wanted the tea and clicks. That's it. Your attitude was disrespectful and reckless. Your channel and intentions are literally the polar opposite of Swoop and her team. You're a prime example of why people in my shoes rarely speak up or get justice. I hope you enjoyed the money your ridiculous videos made you before you removed them. Also, I saw your statement. Funny how my name wasn't in there at all. Shame on you both. Joshua. A little bit later, he would continue on to say, they happily discussed allegations about me that are borderline criminal and could get me fired. They chose to do that. They also chose not to do the bare minimum because that would take ethics, hard work, and professionalism. Things they clearly don't prioritize in their content.
That was his overall sentiment. And after he made those statements, it's kind of inexplicable the amount of pressure we've been getting to answer. I wish that it was as easy as sitting down and saying, sorry, Joshua, everything was wrong. We screwed up. Because I feel like at least...
What's so hard with doing that? What's so hard?
Literally, like, are they dumb?
What's hard about saying that? Like, really?
it would
Yeah,
be
'cause
short,
they knew
clear,
at
to the
that point
point.
they were wrong.
Yes. And if you were chosen, oh my God. If I'm tired, I can't help it. If you were shown proof that you were wrong, there is nothing wrong with taking the L.
Yeah.
Because a grown-ass adult would do that. There's nothing wrong with taking an L.
I mean, she literally just said what she could have wrote. Like, how dumb are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a long-winded paragraph and pinned to everything like straight up. You just go, look, sorry, we messed
Look,
up.
this is
We'll
what I did.
clarify further."
I did this, and this wrong. Boom.
Yeah,
You know?
it also kind of bothers me that they had like a, what they say, placeholder statement. Like, what?
Well, she was
It's like,
well,
what?
no, I understand the placeholder statement because you got to think the video was 4 hours long. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I guess so.
I can understand the placeholder statement saying, hey guys, we hear you. We're watching the video now, et cetera, et cetera. We will get back with you. Okay. I can kind of
That's
understand that.
fair.
I mean, I personally wouldn't do the placeholder, but I can understand if somebody wanted to do it.
I guess that's fair, yeah.
And not like convoluted or have any twists and turns at all. But that's unfortunately not the situation. I do want to make it clear, although we are kind of embarking on a path to how we got here, in no way, shape, or form is anything we said meant to reduce our own responsibility and accountability that we need to take for our own platform.
As well as we don't want it to take away from
Yeah, they did the placeholder because one was on vacation. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Jesse was on vacation.
the things that Johnny did wrong. We are not defending Johnny at all. He manipulated us as well. He literally had everyone fooled, which is one of the things that we want to talk about. Because although we do think that Joshua's feelings are valid, and again, we understand why he was upset that he was not included in the statement we put out, he has painted us in a light that we do not feel is accurate.
Oh no, it was accurate. It was absolutely accurate. No.
Yeah, he just
no.
said exactly what happened.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, he didn't embellish on anything like crazy, like any kind of hypothesis or theories that he had. He just said what happened.
Exactly. No, he was no. He was not. No. He was right.
Honestly, one of the reasons this has been so confusing is because while there is so much that Johnny did lie about and that he was exposed for partaking in himself,
What's up, Vega?
we were struggling because a decent amount of the claims that Johnny made in our video were validated by Josh in previous statements before we ever had Johnny on.
Wrong! You are wrong! Negative! You fucking idiot! I am so sick of this shit, okay? When Johnny made his 3 private apologies and his public apology, 2 when Josh made those apologies.
yeah.
I get the fucking, could somebody have a
Too
different
many
letter?
J names.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. When Joshua did the 3 private apologies and the public apology to Johnny, his apologies was, I wasn't a good friend, I wasn't a good mentor, etc., etc. He never said anything about grooming. He never apologized for grooming. And I'm sorry if you did not take English in school and you do not have reading comprehension, to anybody out there who thinks he apologized for grooming. It was not in those 4 statements.
No.
You know what he was apologizing for? He was apologizing for what Johnny thought he was.
Yeah, it was
Because
like, I'm sorry you felt that way.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
sorry you felt that
Yeah.
way. At the end of the first apology and the first private apology, he even mentioned Johnny's attachment to him. All he
Yes,
was doing
yeah,
was
he
he
did.
was apologizing to Johnny for how Johnny felt the way Josh was supposed to be with him. He was basically apologizing on fiction,
Yeah.
bro.
And he didn't even need to do that really. And
No!
when he did it like 3 times. It's like, yeah, these guys, fucking hell.
God damn! Oh no, it gets worse.
On. The reason, honestly, that we did feel so comfortable having Johnny on was because Joshua had put out several statements, not only apologizing to Johnny, following a lot of his claims that he had already made on Twitter and in his own video, but he acknowledges them and takes accountability for a lot of them.
Yeah, I think that's what
He never apologized to grooming with Johnny. Did y'all take the time and read all those? Did you take the time and read all those? I don't think you did.
makes all of this really confusing, and what I've been kind of struggling with in my head
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a fucking T channel.
is that what we do in nature on our show is cover topical situations backed up by readily available public information. We do not do Freedom of Information Acts. We do not typically even do interviews. Full disclosure, we know Adam McIntyre on at least a friendly level. We've DM'd with him before. We've covered Becky, Ollie, and Adam's story on this channel. We could have reached out to them to be on the show. We didn't because it's not really what we do on this channel. We cover things that are happening currently with readily available public information. And that is what we did. We pulled from what was publicly available. And the issue with that, I think,
And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see a damn thing wrong with that. I don't. So,
is that when you do that, later on, new information can come out that negates that original information or changes it completely, which could completely change our opinion of that original information and our stance. But I think my moral dilemma here is like, just because new information comes out that was not available when we had our first, opinion or whatever, it doesn't make our first reporting of something misinformation. Because I personally feel by definition, misinformation is spreading something you know not to be true for.
Whoa.
ma'am. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm taking this over like this is my stream. Ma'am.
No.
You're fine.
All those apologies had nothing to do with grooming. Nothing at all. And
Yeah,
they
it's like
were
they just didn't read it.
Yeah, it's like they didn't read. It's like reading comprehension is a really hard thing right now. Just saying.
And like another thing as well, they're describing misinformation as disinformation. Misinformation is like when actually certain of what you know to be true and you're just sort of going along with it, right? Whereas like disinformation is when you know and you're spreading it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Or whatever
Yeah. No, exactly. Absolutely.
agenda you may have. And we do not do that on this channel. I just find it hard to swallow being called someone who just doesn't do any due diligence and completely ignored evidence here.
No, you just read it wrong.
mm-hmm.
You read it wrong.
You filled in the blanks yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even Swoop herself had Johnny on as a victim, talking about he was abused. And I'm not saying that to point any fingers. I am literally just saying that to be like, everybody included him in with the victims. Like everybody thought he was the victim he claimed to be because there was
Well, not all of us. Well, I kind of felt maybe he was a victim, but he was way too jovial about his story on Twitter.
Yeah.
He was way too loud. Like, I understand being loud about your story to get people to watch it or get people to look at it, but the way he was doing it, it was almost like he was happy about putting it up there. But when you watch Adam and you read Oliver's and you watched Becky, they weren't happy with the way they were putting it out. You know what I mean? I mean, you actually saw a level of, like, I'm almost embarrassed about it. But Johnny was flying high with his, and I fucking knew something was funny about him. That's why I didn't cover anybody's story but Adam. Because what would I look like if I would have covered Oliver's story and not Johnny's? Because I already know how the Twitter people would have been. How come you're not covering Johnny? How come you're not covering Johnny? What am I going to say? Because I think Johnny's full of shit? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you couldn't have
I would
said
have
that
got
at the
canceled.
time.
I would have got canceled.
And at that point as well, when she made that tweet, when Swoop made the tweet, it was like, 28th of June? And so obviously she had everything there, but like, as you said, if she had have not included Johnny in that, she would have had to explain herself and do everything before everything was out, before they had everything, like all the ducks in a row. So it's kind of like, you can't really speak before it's 100%.
Yeah.
So you might as well err on the side of caution than try and, exclude people for something you're not quite sure of yet. So it's,
Yeah, exactly.
True.
was enough of Joshua admitting it, and there was enough proof that Johnny did provide that wasn't doctored, that's still confirmed till this day, that we were like, something happened here. You know, it wasn't that nothing happened and he was...
Girl, what did Johnny... Wait.
What proof?
Wait. What proof did Johnny give y'all but didn't give the Swoop?
Yeah.
Because everything he gave to Swoop was bullshit. And he couldn't even answer the question on how he was groomed. So what proof that he gave you? Was it that Johnny, or excuse me, that Josh gave Johnny his phone number when he was 16? Oh my God, was that the proof? Wait a minute. His parents were there and they fucking encouraged it.
Yeah, you're going places, son.
Yeah.
Well done.
My son's doing the damn thing.
Doing the damn
that's what it was.
thing. Oh my God. Oh.
I mean, what proof? Girl, if you... Ma'am. Oh
Ma'am.
my
I'm
God.
kind of surprised with how they're trying to like smooth over their end
Oh,
of
I'm
it.
telling
like,
you
I
now,
kinda,
they do it for a whole ass 44 minutes and 39 seconds before we get to the part of this whole video was.
God
Wow.
damn.
Yeah. No, it gets bad. All right.
was a baseless person that just came and just talked.
And then it also made it very confusing because Joshua has kind of insinuated that there are so many false claims that we were spreading with this interview. But after our interview went up, Joshua had also reached out to us on Twitter and provided a statement then that did express his grievances with the interview.
And we did read it in full in our follow-up episode that was addressing Joshua David Evans directly. But before we did that, because it does take time for us to film and edit and get everything to you guys, Joshua kind of got like restless that we weren't responding, and he continued to be like persistent, like, hey, cool, so you respond to other people and not me, and it became this thing. So I did respond to him
fucking
before.
shit.
Like, yeah,
Like,
exactly. He's gonna
yeah.
be right. Like,
Yeah, y'all just went with a story that was false about him and his character. Like, duh, he's gonna say something over and over again until you say something back to him.
And you gotta think, Johnny doesn't do, Joshua doesn't do YouTube anymore. He has a real life job now with a real wife, and he just bought a nice new house. Okay? He is like living like a normal person. If something came out about him grooming at his job, he probably would lose it.
oh, yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
I love how you said real life as well.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know,
Well,
my whole point is he's living an IRL life now. He's not part of YouTube. He's not doing the whole social media thing. This
He hasn't
literally...
updated for a year.
Exactly. This is literally life ruination.
Yeah, they're just showing how out of touch they really are with the real world now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Our episode went up just to kind of like let him know, hey, we are going to be responding to you. And I said, hi, Joshua, our response to all of your statements and claims will be in our next episode, to which someone responded to me, and they've since deleted it, that we could be sued and that he should sue us for defamation. And I said, hi, Katie, that's literally not a thing that's possible here considering the context. Stop tweeting us, LOL, because when I say she was tweeting us a lot, it was a lot. And she answered again, and I'm not sure what she said, but I responded, taking accountability does not mean the victims of your inappropriateness have to stop talking about how you hurt them. We're happy to clarify the one tweet he is mentioning. Unfortunately, there's a laundry list of other things he did that he did not mention or address. And then Joshua David Evans said, I've made quite a few statements addressing the bigger picture here. Just look at my Twitter main feed and responses. If you're going to make more content off of this, at least reach out for comment. Taking a one-sided viewpoint and running with it is dangerous. Now, we want to play us fully reading his statement. This was in our response to Joshua, and we want to show you us reading it, not only for the sake of showing you what his statement was to us in the first place initially, but I think it's important that you watch us read it and for us to talk about it and how we handled it.
And also, I just want to note that we have since taken down both of the episodes, the original interview, as well as our response that we're about to show you a clip from. And one of the reasons we want to show you this is, one, so we can own...
How come they get to take down
Why?
their episodes?
Yeah,
Right.
why take them down? Why
You
are
know
you
why?
taking them down?
Because in that community, in the T community, that's what you do. If you were wrong,
Wow.
you take the video down. It's not like commentary community where you keep that motherfucker up until the end of time or the person that it was about tells you you can. It ain't like that. It's over here, it's not like that. Over there, if your video is wrong, you better take it down. And it is the audience that tells them you need to take it down. That's what
Wow,
they do.
so they
over
just
there.
have no accountability over there.
No, exactly. Skip
Wow.
knows. Skip came from the T community where I came from. We both came from the same place. We got out together. She knows that's T community shit. If your video is wrong, you take it down. And if you don't take it down, there will be consequences.
own up to anything we did wrong, but also because we do feel like there is misinformation being spread about how we handled it, specifically that we did just blatantly ignore him and that we never acknowledged his statement that he sent us. And I've even seen people insinuate that we're like sitting on evidence that we purposely did not share, which is not the case.
Yeah, it's kind of spun out of control into people saying Lily and Jesse mocked Joshua, completely ignored him. I've seen people say Joshua DM'd them evidence and they ignored it.
And I do want to clarify even that he did DM us, but it was nothing different than what he publicly had tweeted us.
Let's just play the statement that we read out. Get to his statement. He
This is
tweets Lily
crazy.
and
It is. It's very crazy.
It's just like how I don't see how they're just saying all this and just like add a disclaimer. Like
Something.
I don't get it.
I want to see something. Hold on. 11K likes, 3.9K dislikes.
Not enough.
Not enough commentary community people watched it.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
and says, "Hey Jesse and Lily, we don't know each other, but you recently had a video go up with a person claiming very misleading and embellished accusations about me from years and years ago. I wish you two and him no ill will. This is merely my side, my truth, and my official statement." So here's the official statement. "I meant it when I said I wasn't going to engage or speak about Johnny anymore after my public apology. I've now seen his recent claims and feel backed into a corner to once again take my voice back. I've had the narrative stripped from me before, back in 2016 till now, and I will not stand back and let it happen again. The claims of me being inappropriate one-on-one with anyone back then are fully embellished and a complete misrepresentation of those times. The comment and tweet he's referring to about me saying to a fan that their profile pic turned me on was in reference to a pic that I was in and directed towards me, not the girl. We have privately discussed this and made peace with it. At her request, I happily deleted it and apologized for ever joking about it in the way that I did. It was an awkward and terrible attempt at being funny. I never should have joked in that way all those years ago. For that, I am sorry. These claims are beyond hurtful and incredibly damaging to my mental health. They feel malicious and unprovoked. I've made my apologies and have owned up to what behavior was out of line during my YouTube years. I've done the work. I'm still in therapy. I'm 3.5 years sober. I have a wonderful marriage to an incredible woman. I love what I do for work. We just bought a little house together and have an amazing and quiet life together. I find
Why are you rolling your eyes? Why is she?
I
Whoa!
was looking at her face the whole time. She just like, nah. You know, I'm just like, what?
out of line
Who
during my
are
YouTube
you?
years. I've done the work.
Wait.
I'm still in therapy. I'm 3.5 years sober. I have a wonderful marriage to an incredible woman. I love what I do for work. We just bought a little house together and have an amazing and quiet.
Oh my god, dude.
Wow.
I
They're
want to
so out
fight
of
somebody.
touch.
I want to fight somebody. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, isn't the whole look. Isn't the whole point of holding people accountable is that they go out and do what they need to do to get better?
Yep.
Now, unless he actually did physical things, or you know what I'm saying, I understand. I don't know what the things are against him, okay? Apparently we're going to find out. But when it comes to that picture that he said that to the girl, which he talked to the girl and they are fine with each other, and it was a profile picture of him, okay? That makes it a big difference. Johnny was running around saying, oh, he just said it to a 15-year-old girl. He didn't give the context.
No, he didn't say that it was
Yeah.
in the picture, did he? I can't remember that.
No, he never said that it was actually a picture of Joshua.
Wow.
Did he? I feel like he did, but then he dismissed it.
Who, Johnny?
I can't. Yeah, I feel like he was in the picture, but blah 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 blah. I feel
Yeah.
like I heard that before.
I remember Swoop saying it. I don't remember him saying it. But he might have.
okay.
I don't know. I mean,
I could have just merged the two together. I did watch that video a couple of times,
bro.
so I don't know.
For real, though. But I mean, the whole point is that eye roll.
Get life
That's
together. I finally have
disrespectful.
Very.
my chance at a new life beyond this awful chapter. If these claims continue, I'll have no choice but to get lawyers involved. I'm broke as it is, but I'm willing to fight for my sanity and truth.
She
The big
rolled her
sigh.
eyes again. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I hate her.
Jesus.
Okay, so a few things here. I feel like even the beginning of that, he is saying he has never been inappropriate one-on-one with a fan. And that I feel like is up to interpretation because you seem to only think sexual things are considered inappropriate when I would venture to say most of the things you did were inappropriate, including this tweet that you don't deny exists.
Well, okay, so there's multiple layers to this, as is the situation with any time we talk about Colleen. But number one, the issue I have with him saying I was never inappropriate one-on-one. You have vehemently apologized for being inappropriate with fans. And you literally admit to having an inappropriate relationship with fans. I believe the words you said was I actually want to look it up because
His original statement. Yeah.
Well, he does refer to it in one statement as an abusive fan-creator dynamic.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of, is that he acknowledged publicly that it was inappropriate, the way that he would interact with fans, and that he's learned from it, yada, yada, yada. And then you're going to also sit here and be like, well, I never had an inappropriate relationship with fans. And that's just not true. Again, we're not just saying sexual. We're saying that when you're video chatting for hours and hours and hours on end, just that alone, that's inappropriate, let alone how close you got to Johnny. Johnny even said you got to know his parents and like really got into it. Like that's...
Wait, so y'all watched the Swoop video and you're still saying this?
Yeah.
Sounds like it. If this is what the tea community is like, I don't want nothing to do with it. My lord.
Yeah.
They watched the Swoop video and they still spewed that out of their mouth.
It's like they just so desperately don't want to be in the wrong.
Yeah, they can't take it. And
They
truly
watched,
chat.
wait. They watched the Swoop video and they didn't pick up on that Johnny was 17 years old for 3 years straight.
Yeah. That's true. And like I was going to say, like Twilly in chat said, Lily, it's not the fucking point. Being inappropriate by calling yourself sexy isn't the same as grooming. Amen. And that's like, how is that inappropriate to be able to call yourself that? Like even in out of context.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that
he
is from their old
apologized
video.
for that.
Okay, wait, this
Yeah.
part was from their old video. That's right. Okay. Whoo! I was about to say,
Ah.
holy shit, bro. Woo! Okay, thank you. You saved me, guys. Okay, so this is from their old video. All right.
Oh, wait.
weird on
really?
its own.
Okay.
Although we did read the statement.
Yep. See.
Oh, that is.
Woo!
Well,
Okay, that makes more
okay.
sense. That makes more sense now because the video hadn't come out yet. Okay. God
Holy
bless
shit.
it. I was about to say, bro. Woo! Okay, right. We're good. We're
Now
good.
we're back. All right.
Holy shit.
In full. We didn't leave out any parts. We didn't leave out anything that he said. And ultimately, what we did do after this is we did explain the full context surrounding the tweet that was the correct context, and then also let people know that we were deleting that portion of our interview with Johnny. But everything else that Johnny had mentioned in our interview, he just didn't address. So you're only telling us one instance, but how does that change everything else?
He provided that statement and told us the different context, but he didn't provide us even any proof that confirmed that. And even so, we did remove that section from the video in good faith to prevent it from being further taken out of context.
How do you prove a negative?
Yeah, you can't. You cannot prove a negative. It's not. Yeah.
But it was confusing to us for him to be even at one point threatening legal action when he only had one correction that he was asking us to make, and we did it.
So that's where we get into our demeanor. This is something that Joshua and many, many others have been really uncomfortable with, have been upset with us with. During that statement, although I read it in full, there was no pauses. We didn't stop to commentate on his statement in general. You can kind of see our vibe. You know, Lily's kind of like rolling her eyes and like we are like annoyed. And that was simply because, not what he was saying in his statement. It was simply because quite literally we were bothered that he was so pressing on Twitter. Now looking back, knowing everything we know why he was like kind of panicking after our interview. But instead of presenting any evidence that Johnny was not being truthful about everything he was saying, he just kind of was like, hear my side. And
But how do you
What did they-
how do you prove made up shit?
Yeah, and did they even ask for it? Like, did they even talk to him to get that side? Because obviously they didn't, and therefore, why would he just be putting all that stuff out on Twitter anyway? It's like that's the thing. It's like Swoop actually asked him, "Hey, give me those DMs," and then she asked Johnny, "Hey, give me those DMs," and then came to like the decision herself of what happened there. Whereas they just got the one side and went, "Yeah, well, he's guilty." It's just like, well, how? You gotta literally hear both sides out to be able to make an opinion about it. Like it's just
Lord have mercy.
because of how he
Their
phrased his
heads are
tweets,
full
we
of
were
sand.
Say what?
I said their heads are full of sand. Like it's just crazy that they're saying one thing and then 2 seconds later contradicting it. It's just crazy.
under the impression that there was nothing else he was trying to share, and we were just going to acknowledge that statement and then move forward.
A lot of people have been coming for me because I'm a victim of abuse, and they have said, you are too biased to be covering things like this. Like, you don't have the proper objectiveness when it comes to topics like this. And I would be lying if I said that that take did not absolutely bother me, because I think that, yes, although I do have a bias to believe victims, for sure, I am able to, number one, admit when I'm wrong in cases like this. Like, it's not like I'm here to just be like, no, Johnny's still right. Like, that's just not ever going to happen when I'm presenting new information. But I also think that my perspective as someone who's been through abuse is important in this space. And I don't think it's right to be like, oh, you're just too sensitive about these topics and you just should have heard out someone that was accused of something like this. So looking back, I want to genuinely ask myself what was realistic to have changed in this situation, knowing what we knew then, not knowing what.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody what they can and can't do on their content.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try to regulate somebody's channel like that. You know, I mean, listen, I'm not mad about the interview they had with Johnny. If they hadn't have had that fucking interview, that was more fuel for the fire against Johnny. If anything, he buried himself because of it. I'm not mad about the interview. I'm mad about what happened after.
Yeah, but that's all the more reason to keep it up. Like, just a document.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they would have it up. But no, that's not how they do things over there.
And also the fact that they're saying that, you know, you've got a bias in the situation because of your own personal, you know, what's happened to you in the past. Swoop had stuff happen to her in the past, and she was very unbiased in that situation. She looked at all sides. She got every bit of information she could about the situation, and then developed like her own feelings and thoughts about it. So like I don't know. I just think she just didn't want to believe somebody else, and like that's where, you know, the shit comes into play there, because she just didn't want to look at sides.
Listen, people fuck up, okay? They fucked up. It's not career ending. It's not going to end their podcast. They fucked up, okay? You can say you fucked up and then move on. Just say you fucked up. This is how I fucked up, and move on. All this other shit is not needed. You know, that's all you need to do.
What we know now from Swoop's investigation, because that obviously changes everything. But what could we have done differently then with the information that we had presented, and what do we plan to do differently in the future? I personally want to own up to the fact that we absolutely need to handle all situations like this, including our interview with Johnny, with the seriousness that it deserves. Our demeanor was absolutely too lax for the subject. I think that you and I got caught up in trying to have that chill, like safe space for whoever comes on the show. And that was our second ever interview. And we need to learn that in the future, especially when covering abuse cases, it's not that we can't have someone on to speak freely, but it's important to handle it in a very serious way. And I think also be more clear and direct about what is alleged and what is just kind of someone's account. Because we did mention, hey, a lot of this isn't going to have like assets and like proof. This is Johnny's account. We did.
Skip said, in this situation, it's easy to see how people can fuck up. It's convoluted hell. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what, Skip? You know this. I can't stand H3H3. Okay, I won't say the dreaded H word, but I can't stand H3H3. I'm not even mad at him about his interview, except for I think that he could have let Becky and Oliver talk a little bit more, because Johnny took over that interview. But I'm not even mad at him. And I'm quick to get mad at H3H3, but I'm not even upset with him because it helped the case. Yeah, he's a garbage human being, but I'm not even mad at him for his interview. You know? That's why I'm not mad at them. People, I hate people. I just hate the human. No, I don't hate people. I love people. I love people.
Yeah, we love people.
Sarcasm.
Satire.
Satire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I strongly dislike them, though.
Yes.
But I'm not going to sit here and tell people whether they can interview people or not. And I'm not one to tell people who they can and cannot have on their platform either. Now, they do a lot of that over there. We don't do that over here. But I'm not going to sit there and tell somebody who they can and can't have on their platform. I refuse. Because I'm not going to tell somebody how to run their channel, because I'd be damned if somebody tells me how to run mine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Did mention that in the beginning of his interview, but we kind of need to be a little bit more structured and serious about topics like this. To be clear, our interview was not entirely about Joshua. There was a specific like Joshua David Evans section, and then he also spoke about Corey DeSoto and Colleen Ballinger, because he had allegations for all of them. And I believe he briefly spoke about Trent Ballinger as well. What we realized in watching Swoop's documentary and then also watching H3 was that we were the first interview that Johnny had been on video.
While we did not fact check every single claim that Johnny made throughout the interview, there was several claims in it that Joshua himself had admitted to in his own statements that were publicly available on Twitter. And honestly, that is one of the factors that made this so confusing, because when we went back and compared the claims that Johnny made in our interview and then held it next to the new information that was revealed in Swoop's documentary, a lot of those lies or exaggerations weren't made in our interview, because honestly, we think that our interview, which we feel even worse about, gave Johnny the confidence to then kind of run with the story.
I do agree with that. I think that's exactly what happened. He started off
Yeah.
with theirs, and then he made the story a little bit bigger with H3, and then by the time he got to Swoop, it was a all full blown out fairy tale.
Yeah, he was testing the waters
Yes,
first to see
yes.
how much people would believe.
I do agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I think theirs was the testing of the waters. Yes.
Right.
And
Do you know
make
what
the-
I love? Do you know what I love? Is the fact that Swoop was like, this was a 7-hour interview with Joshua. Just
Oh
so you
yeah,
know.
because Johnny went around bragging to everybody, but his was 6.5 hours.
Yeah, therefore his is going to be more important, right? Yeah, he had the biggest story out of everybody, and blah blah blah. It's
Hey,
like, yeah, well,
Talk to the chat real quick. I'm gonna go grab my coffee out of the refrigerator. Hold on one second.
yeah, no worries. He didn't admit to half the things Johnny is saying, though. It doesn't take a genius to realize that. That is true. Yeah. I know. So Johnny's proof was stuff they misread. Cool. That is Johnny. Yeah. Oh my god, chat. What are you thinking of it so far? Tell me what your feels are. Definitely.
Honestly,
a
I
garbage review.
can't believe how dumb they are. I didn't expect this.
Well, see, here's the
Right.
thing. Here's the thing that I have to catch myself, like when I talk to Matt about stuff that goes on in that sector of YouTube or whatever, and like how people will make like a lot of videos on a subject. I have to tell him, you have to understand, YouTube does not run like the commentary community runs. You don't do a 1 and done or maybe a 3 and done, okay? You do 10, 12, 20, 30 videos, okay? With stuff like this, you take videos down, whereas we keep them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless that person says, no, go ahead and take it down, then you take it down. You know, it's basically up to the person that whatever. We do things differently than they do. So that's their culture over there. So you can't expect them to do the same things that you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this
It's
is
just-
just such a foreign world to me. The way
Yeah,
they're doing, like, yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, it's like the matter of transparency, you know? It's just like, look, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. We're going to leave this up so you know exactly how it went. Whereas, like, now they're taking it down, they can form their own narrative about it, you know? And it's
Yeah.
sort of... So, I don't like it. I don't like the way they run stuff like that. It's just, it's not right. It isn't right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. They just need to be real, Twilly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Be real.
those exaggerations because he was like, okay, well, that one went well. And then he moved on to the next one and his story got a little more outrageous as it went on.
Yeah, it was like literally infuriating to watch Swoop show that he had accused Trent Ballinger of grooming him and saying, oh, like Ollie's story made me realize that I was groomed. And he just piggybacked off of all of the victims' stories to make himself into this like perfect victim that everyone should feel the most sorry for. It definitely felt like we empowered him via our interview, whether intentional or not, to kind of continue.
Okay, I want to say something that Skip said because I can understand what she's saying here. I tell you what, folks keep jumping down people's throat about this story and no one is going to want to cover it and any further developments. I think some folks need to rein in their fervor. Now, I'm going to tell you why I agree with that statement. You know, I still haven't watched that second Swoop video because by the time that second Swoop video came out, I was burnt out.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I remember that and I felt kind of the same way because we talked about it so much and it was just running in circles by that point, right?
Yes.
And we already kind of heard everything that was out and it was said at that point.
Yes.
And so at this stage, it was just regurgitation and it was just like, yeah, we've heard this.
I
And
had to check out of the story. I had to.
Yeah.
I absolutely had. That's why when I made that tweet, I was like, I was there for round 1, round 2,
Yep.
I had to step out, but I'm back for round 3. You know, and I still haven't seen that second video. I still haven't seen it yet. But Skip also makes a good point here. Over there, because again, we both came over there. Reputation equals money. Lots and lots of money. That's why their rules are different. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
She says I'm
I don't-
burnt out and I just dipped my pinky toe in there.
Don't blame you.
On this rampage of misinformation and embellishing upon things that may have happened, but now turned into this weird, convoluted, embellished story that ultimately just became a big lie.
Yeah, because I mean, even in our interview, he doesn't explicitly call Joshua a groomer. He does use the term at one point, but he says that Joshua is a gateway groomer.
I keep calling him the gateway groomer because I wouldn't have gotten caught in Colleen's web as much if he didn't really just wind me up in it.
So
He's such a liar. He's such a liar.
It's Josh's fault that I'm in this situation.
Yeah, that's a very strange statement to make.
It's a very strange statement to make, especially when he was already in those tiny chats before he even met Josh in person.
Yeah.
Right.
So to then watch him throw around that word and attach it to multiple people in his next few interviews is absolutely insane. Another thing that he didn't do on our podcast that he proceeded to do with Swoop, and I'm not sure if he did on H3, but was mock the abuse that Joshua experienced with Colleen. Specifically, in our interview, he said, I don't want to comment on their dynamic because that's their business. But us fans, this is what Johnny was saying, us fans were kind of like consoling them.
But it would be a lot of trauma dumping on how she didn't know if Josh was ever going to propose to her.
Through their problems, which I think he probably got from Adam because Adam talks about that. But who knows if Johnny actually did personally experience that. Right. So he started off doing that.
I don't know what a gateway groomer is. Have you ever heard of a gateway groomer?
Yeah, new term coined. Woof.
Yeah.
And then also talking about Trent Ballinger in a way where Trent Ballinger was inappropriate in many scenarios, but never towards him. No. But then he goes on to Swoop's channel and then says, yeah, I was groomed by Trent Ballinger, but then also says, no, I wasn't groomed by Trent Ballinger. It was a clusterfuck. Just all over the place, honestly. And following the interview, we definitely were on good terms with him because we were not under the impression he had lied about anything. And honestly, even after Joshua's statement, that corrected something that wasn't entirely false. Joshua just added additional.
True, Anna. Xylie. He just be saying shit. True.
Yeah, I've got another point on that gateway grooming thing as well. Yeah. So like when you're talking about gateway stuff or gateway drugs and that sort of thing, usually it's like the smaller sort of situation getting into a bigger situation, right?
Yeah.
So what happened there? Because apparently like he didn't really talk to Colleen much and blah blah blah. I wasn't really in that situation. That Josh was the one that had all these grooming stuff attached to it, right?
Right.
And so wouldn't Colleen be the gateway to Josh if it went on all of his information that he gave everybody?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
I would think Colleen would be the person. Technically, yeah. I would think Colleen because it was her fandom that he joined as a younger person.
Mm-hmm.
How he met everybody else.
And that's the
it's
thing.
like he's... Oh, go ahead.
Diet
No, you
Dr.
go ahead.
Groomer. Skip, shut the fuck up. Skip is saying the reefer of grooming. Diet Dr. Groomer. Oh my god.
Diet Dr. Groomer.
Jesus Christ,
so good.
Skip. Oh my god.
But it's like he's saying, if it wasn't for me being so obsessed with Josh, I wouldn't have gotten this situation.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it was. He was obsessed with him. He was obsessed. Oh my god, bro. I can't wait for this. I need this interview to come out. I swear to God.
Tell me about it.
I'm telling you now. I'm going to write a very mean-spirited letter to Oz and Swoop if they both come out with their videos at the same time. I am writing a very angry letter to both of them going, excuse me, could we time this out a week apart? Because it's going to take me a week to go through both these damn videos because they're going to be so long. Okay, there. I'm going to fax it. Damn right. I'm going to fax them a letter.
Context that changed the situation, but it wasn't something he blatantly lied about. And because we weren't under the impression that anything else in the interview was a lie, we didn't feel like we had a reason to not believe him. We also did not keep up super closely with him as he did his other appearances on other podcasts because we had already spoken to him and we didn't see all of these claims that he...
Okay, see, I don't blame them for that. I don't blame them for that. I don't blame them for what he said on their platform. You know, because honestly, if you think about it, if they would have pushed back against him, do you know how canceled they would have been until Swoop's video came out?
That's true.
You know, so I don't blame them for that.
He was making. And while I did follow him on Twitter, the sheer volume of tweets that he puts out, I did not see all of them. And I didn't see how aggressive and extreme his allegations were getting. And also any time that we would hear about Johnny, like even if it was just in passing and we weren't watching, anytime that we did see that, Johnny was always a victim being interviewed. So even when I know that he went on H3, for instance, I remember Adam reacting to that, Adam McIntyre, and saying like, I'm so proud of all of them. And that included Johnny. And we just thought that he was still the victim he portrayed himself to be up until Swoop's video. So again,
because Adam was in the same situation, what was he going to do? Call out Johnny?
Yeah, you can only play with the cards you're being dealt. And as far as anybody knew at that time, he was a victim.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and around the time of the H3, I think that's when Adam was starting to pick up on things. But what was he going to do? Call people out? He wasn't going to be able to call Johnny out because people would have looked at him and go, "Well, how come you're calling out Johnny? How come you're saying he's a victim like you?" Because remember, Johnny always attached himself to Adam, so Adam couldn't call him out.
Yeah.
It literally took Swoop to do her video.
Yeah, it would have
Adam.
looked like victim infighting if they would have done that.
Adam in chat, by the way, not me on my second channel. Lol.
I thought that was a fake Adam. I was like, "Excuse me, fake Adam, but welcome." The difference is I didn't interview him though. Yeah, exactly. Because you knew better. You knew what was up.
We
Absolutely.
are fully aware that Johnny has made a ton of false claims, but we have been kind of in this weird limbo where we felt confused because we weren't even aware of the extent of the claims he had made, because on ours he didn't say that, and the majority of the things he said in our interview weren't being denied or disputed. There were some claims that Johnny made on our podcast about Joshua, for sure. Not to defend him or to, again, remove responsibility from ourselves, simply to understand what happened here. What did he say on our podcast that was a lie, and what did he say that wasn't a lie? One of the claims was that Joshua was an adult who gave a minor Johnny his phone number at the time. I know that was a thing that a lot of people had an issue with. They're like, why are you giving a kid who's a super fan your number? I know.
I thought the same thing when I first heard it.
In Swoop's documentary, she points out that his parents were there, and they weren't just there. They were like, hell yeah, you got his number. This is gonna be great for your career type of thing. Which to us, honestly, didn't really change that aspect of it much, because if anything, that makes us more concerned that his parents were doing that, but it doesn't make us any less concerned that Joshua was giving out his phone number. And
Yeah, I mean,
They're
I didn't
doing
like,
the damn thing.
well, okay. I said this though. Do I think it was inappropriate for Joshua to give him the phone number? Yeah, but the parents were present. The parents were there. The parents encouraged it. They were
Yeah, the
looking at
context makes all the difference.
yes, because they were looking at Josh to be a mentor for Johnny. That is a huge difference than him going, psst, psst, here's my phone number. Call me anytime.
Yeah.
Or text
Right.
me
A
anytime.
real groomer ain't gonna do it in the open.
Right. There's a big difference in that.
And also, he apologized and recognized that giving his number to Johnny was inappropriate. Whether his parents were there or they weren't there, everybody kind of recognized, hey, that's kind of strange to give a minor your number. However, it's also worth noting that Johnny did express, and whether anyone believes a word that comes out of his mouth now is up to interpretation, but in addition to saying that his parents were present for multiple parts of this and that they kind of knew Joshua, he kind of alluded to that but didn't really get too into it.
I mean, they knew him enough to DM him for Johnny's birthday.
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
They knew him enough
Hounded
to
him.
do TikToks with him. They knew him enough to go to dinner with him and show up at car shows with him. I mean, I'm throwing it out there, you know. His parents were very much involved.
Yeah.
Like if he's gonna say that Josh was a groomer, then you kind of got to say your parents played a hand in it. If he's like, that's what it feels like to me. Like if you're saying that your parents were right there rooting it on. So
Yeah, right there doing the Harlem Shake with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned that his parents had apologized to him for essentially like not protecting him. That was our discussion with him. So that is true. So Joshua did give his number to a minor, Johnny at the time, who was a super fan. And he acknowledged himself that that was inappropriate. And whatever that means, it means it just is one of the
That doesn't mean grooming.
claims that Johnny made that is substantiated by proof and by Joshua's admission. Another claim that he made was that Joshua video chatted with minors on Tiny Chat, and that is confirmed. We have received multiple screenshots from Johnny. That's never been, from what I understand, contested by Joshua in any way. In addition to the proof that he provided, there has also been a statement from Joshua where he has very much admitted to not only having an abusive fan and creator dynamic with a lot of fans, but also even mentions that he wanted to extend an apology to anyone he spoke to during his YouTube career that may feel hurt or used. He said, I honestly didn't understand the damage it would cause. I got messy and sought validation through innocent people, ... children.
You know, it's almost like he's doing more than Colleen has ever done.
Oh, yeah. At least he's talking about it. Like,
yeah.
At least he's looking at what he's did. He's recognized it. He's going through therapy, for God's sakes. He got off alcohol, and he's living the best life that he can live right now. He's doing a hell of a lot more than Colleen ever did.
That's
He
true.
also apologized to Johnny.
Well, that's the part that pisses me off the most. Adam has gone around, and all Adam wants is a goddamn apology, and this little shit got 4.
Yeah.
And
This
he's
little shit
still
got
fucking
more.
butthurt. That's
Yes. Yes.
It's
That's
like
gross, and I
the
feel absolutely-
apologies like are validating his claims and stuff like that, right? So
Yeah.
like he's just like, see, he did do this stuff, see, and then it's going like even harder. It's just like, dude, it's like at that point you just go, yep, cool, no worries. If this is if that's what you wanted, then you got it 4 times. So
But
why
you know
keep
what it
going?
is,
Yeah.
though? Let me tell you why he keeps going. Because he's getting something that Adam never got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in his puny brain, he's 1 step ahead of Adam.
Yeah.
Which is
Or
what he wants
technically
the whole
4
time.
steps,
Yeah.
or 4 steps ahead of
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
feeding
telling
his
you.
delusion that he went through more than what Adam went through,
I'm
and his
telling
was so
you.
much worse.
I'm telling you, put the lotion on the skin. Johnny wants to wear Adam's skin. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely terrible for it. So while that does not explicitly admit to the tiny chat stuff, that was a reason that we didn't doubt Johnny's claim.
Full transparency, when we are filming this, Swoop has yet to release her interview with Josh, which I believe she's alluded to like really pressing him on
Oh, dear God. This thing's going to be so long.
certain things. And I absolutely think she's going to bring this up and he's going to definitely take accountability for it. I think he's going to be like, that was fucked up and I shouldn't have done that. But that did happen. So he did tiny chat with minors and Colleen,
did.
we know, did that.
Very inappropriate. And you know what? He's owned up to it. He's owned up to it.
And
What
you know
else is he
what?
supposed to do?
And Johnny also did tiny chat with minors.
Sure
and there was
did.
that.
He's still friends.
Exactly.
He's still friends with the one that he met when he was in his 20s and they were 13. He's still friends with them because he's a mentor.
And he
Uh-huh.
put together a group chat recently. Remember that too? So he's still keeping in contact with them, like pulling the little strings, trying to make sure everything's in line. Come on, dude.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
That a lot where she would like drop into these group chats and there's a bunch of like screenshots of her doing that with Johnny. Now, Johnny did not in any way say that the content of what they were talking about was inappropriate in any sexual or adult nature at all. He just was mentioning that they would do it quite
Okay, I think Gina has a really good point. Josh has proved changed behavior, which is the key part for me, not just the verbal apology, neither of which Colleen has done. True.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, he okay, Joshua got off the whole ass internet. Like, he got off the internet. Like, and went to go and live his life and just do real human being touching grass shit. And got away from it and got therapy and got clean. I mean, what else? What else is he supposed to do?
frequently, which again, we do not have.
Point. John has a good point in chat because it feels like Jesse and Lily still view Johnny as a victim and Josh as the perpetrator, despite Johnny being guilty of everything he accused Josh of. Yeah, because they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to be wrong in this situation. They're like, if everything that they've put out here, they've said, yeah, this, and this, we admit that we got this wrong. But, and then they show like little snippets of things where like they could possibly go in their direction. It's like they can't just fully own up to stuff. They can't just fully own up to what they've done. They're then putting in little seeds of doubt as well throughout their speculation there. And that to me doesn't seem that they're fully being accountable of what they've gone through and what they've put out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've picked their side and they're sitting on it.
Yeah.
Confirmation for how frequently this would happen, but we know it wasn't like a contest that they wanted to like video chat a creator. It was on this like
it was a regular occurrence.
But he never alleged that anything sexual or like sinister took place. Another thing that includes the tiny chats that Johnny alleged and has been confirmed by a screenshot that we believe to be true and that Joshua has not contested up till now. For all we know, all these screenshots are doctored and we're like, holy shit, but that is not anything that Joshua has claimed. He had not reached out to us and said, hey, the assets that you have are completely false. That is just doctored. That is not true. None of that has been alleged up till now. So we have no reason to believe that these are fake screenshots. But Johnny alleged that Joshua posed as him to his minor friends at the time. So he went on to Tiny Chat and had Johnny's name on the screen, but it was him. It was Joshua.
You apparently do not have to have your camera turned on. You can just be participating as like a blank screen. And according to Johnny's allegation, Joshua, at least on one occasion, had entered the chat with the name Johnny without revealing himself in the video and kind of like lurked in there, which again, we don't have proof of how long he was in there or
if he had his camera off at all. Like we don't know anything other than he had his face on a video with Johnny's name as a username. So we don't know exactly what happened, but we do.
I've got a point there. Like, didn't Johnny have access to his accounts and that sort of stuff, or was that not that sort of thing? Because I know that he had access to like a Twitter that he ran and stuff like that as well, right? So, like, would that be something like where he would have logged in on his accounts or whatever, and then he was in there doing things with whoever was in the group chats?
That whole thing, I don't know. That whole thing, I don't know. I do
Okay.
not know. That's such a, like, there could be any amount of reason why he could have had Johnny's name on there. It could have been a simple joke.
Yeah, like the joke that they were saying that because they had a number of DMs and stuff where the people in the chat, the minors and stuff, would pretend that there were other people, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it couldn't be that same
Look
joke.
what happens in Core's Discord. My name changes every day because Core or everybody or somebody else is changing my name. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? People do stupid shit like that and those kind of things as jokes. So it could have simply been a joke, but Johnny is taking that joke and making it something that it wasn't. Like he was taking his one-on-one time with Josh as grooming when he was never alone with Josh.
Right.
So that's Johnny taking a snippet of a truth, which was Joshua had Johnny's name on, where his video was, in the tiny chat or whatever. Okay. But the nuance could have simply been, it was a joke.
Right.
Because the kids would do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
this is all speculation, by the way. We don't know this.
but that could be one we don't know. Because Johnny's such a damn liar, you can't believe a word he says.
It's like Boy Who Cried Wolf now. It's like if he comes out with something that's actually like that actually happened, who's gonna believe him?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have a hard. If he came out with something that like was terrible that happened to him, I'm gonna have a hard time believing it. I really am. And that's sad to say, but I'm gonna have a hard time believing it because he's lied so much.
Yeah, he has no credibility now.
No.
Yeah. Do know that either he was joking about being Johnny or something along those lines happened, but there is a screenshot to support that. The other thing that was confirmed is that Joshua hired, but without paying, I think 15-year-old Johnny at the time to handle his Twitter account for Sarah
15?
Ridiculous, which
Was he 15?
Was he 15? Because he didn't.
Because I thought he wasn't in there that young. But
Yeah.
No,
I
he
can't
was in the
remember.
fandom that young. He was in
Yeah.
the fandom, Colleen's fandom. I don't think he was 15 when he got into Twitter, though. He was 16 when he met him face to face and got the number.
Right.
Yeah.
And that would have been before everything else, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
definitely
maybe
older
he
than
was
15.
16. I think he was more 16. I think it was after the number thing.
Right.
Yeah. Nope, he was older than that. I'm gonna have to go back to that damn Sweet video and find that part.
Yeah, I'm looking at my
Yeah.
notes trying to figure out what happened there.
Yeah, with him being 17 for 3 years, it kind of throws the whole timeline off.
Right.
Oh God, it's amazing. Why couldn't I just stay 30 for like 10 years? That would be great. Just saying.
Oh, dude,
Right.
my mum was 37 for at least 7 years.
Right.
So I get it.
Let me tell you something. My poor mother, every year I wished her happy birthday. I had her at 36 for at least 5 years straight because I couldn't get I couldn't get past my mother being past 36 for some reason. I don't know what it was.
All of
5
my
years straight.
grandma's grandkids, when she died, we were all so confused on how old she was because she told us she was 40 for like 20 years.
Yeah.
That's fun. I have a friend that's like in her 40s, and every time someone asks her age, because she does sound young, she'll just be like, "Oh, I'm 25," and they believe her.
I can't wait to start doing that.
I
I'm
can't
not ashamed
do
of
that.
my age.
I'm
though.
not
That's the
either.
thing. Like, I don't
I'm not
care.
either. I'm not either.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of my age. Damn right. I'm 47. What am I going to do? Lie about it? Like, why lie? Now, granted, if I had a body like Pamela Anderson, I looked as good as Pamela Anderson, I'll be 35 till the day I fucking die. I'm just
Nah,
saying.
I'd be the opposite. I'd be like, yeah, I'm like 50 or whatever. And I look this good. Yeah, that's right.
That's true. Yeah, it's a little more impressive that way.
I'm gonna tell you what, if I look like Pamela Anderson, I'd give Bunny a run for her money. Just saying.
I wish Pamela Anderson can get it.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right.
Just a character that he had, which a lot of people have speculated is exploitative at the very least. Like, this is a fan, a super fan, and you're getting them to essentially work for you for free. And that is, again, something that is confirmed both by screenshots, but it's also Joshua's own admission. He admitted he should have never had Johnny running that account, that wasn't appropriate. He shouldn't have given him access to that. The thing is...
Okay, great. He's owning up to things. Oh my God. Like, somebody's actually owning up to things?
Accountability. Never
Holy
heard of it.
shit.
Is this really such a foreign concept in the tea community? Like,
okay, girls.
I just don't know anything about the tea community.
Do you know? Okay, do you know the concept of like blood in the water, sharks in the water, when blood's in the water? Okay, when they go hard on somebody, they go hard.
Wow,
like
it's like a cult.
It's not a cult. I wouldn't go so far as calling it a cult.
I don't know. It just seems like they all have the same thought process for no reason.
Because it's the culture. It literally is the culture over there. It's the culture. Honestly, it's the culture, and it's very over there. It's very the fans pretty much run that sector.
Right.
Yeah. Emphasis on cult and culture, though. Right?
Oh my God, I hate you. I hate you. I'm done with you, Bonnie. I'm done.
That Joshua hasn't taken accountability for a lot of things, and our whole purpose for having Johnny on wasn't to have him spread new allegations or anything. It was to talk about his experience that, honestly, we, again, didn't...
Wait. I think Swoop said he quit Josh's according to 4 days after the divorce was filed. And Anon said, Ron B, that's correct. That was in 2016 when Johnny was 20.
Oh!
Because he's 27 now. In 2013, he would have been 17 years old. So he wasn't 15 when he was running that Twitter account.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Besides my audience, our audience is the smartest.
Oh, hell yeah.
We have the best audience. Just saying.
Yep.
Just throwing it out there.
Think we had reason to doubt because so much of it checked out with Joshua's own statements. What Johnny did, and the reason I think he was able to trick so many people into believing everything he said, is he did take truths and things that did happen that very well may have been inappropriate, and something, I mean, Joshua himself has admitted was. And he started to build on it little by little to sensationalize it, in my opinion, for the ultimate attention of it. And this part is what really upsets me, because people have accused me so many times of just wanting attention, and I have always stood so solid in the fact of, like, the amount of people that would lie.
Say his name, Jesse. Say his name, Jesse. I'm sorry. I had to do that. His name. I agree, Xylie. I am the best. I don't trust Jesse Smith. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate it.
For this kind of attention is so minimal and so rare that why would I choose to believe off the bat when I see a victim that doesn't necessarily have proof? Because that's one thing people are forgetting. Like, my story, I do have proof in files in like courts, and like law enforcement has it, but the public doesn't. The public has my word. That's it. And it has literally changed my life to have at least some people believe my experience, like my soul and what I fucking went through. That has been life-changing. So it's hard for me to sit here and be like, you have to have proof for X, Y, and Z, because a lot of people who were sexually abused were not recording it. They don't have proof of it. You know, there's a lot of tricky situations that it's very dangerous to just veil all of this over and be like, unless you have proof, that's it. Like, it's way more nuanced than that. And I think it's actually irresponsible to go that route as well and just completely go the polar opposite and say, you're lying unless proving otherwise. Like, I just think that that's dangerous. Completely.
But isn't that that's what I was about to say. Go for it, Bunny. Go for it, Bunny. Go.
Well, then why in the hell didn't they let Josh talk? Like, how can they say that about Johnny's thing? Like, oh, he doesn't have to have concrete proof. Then why in the hell wouldn't you talk to Josh?
Because common sense ain't common sensing.
This is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And also, one of the things that a lot of people have expressed that they're upset with us about is that in our response video, we also read a tweet from Joshua basically calling us out, saying any other news outlet that had covered the story at least reached out to him for comment, but that we didn't. He was upset that we didn't get his side of the story.
I believe the exact words I used was, I don't want to hear your side. And a lot of people are very upset, specifically at me, for being so standoffish.
People just thought overall that we were being dismissive.
And we were, to a certain extent, but not in the sense that he was presenting us information that was relevant and pressing and would have exonerated him. And we were just like ignoring that. That was not in the way that we were writing him off. We were writing him off because he was someone at that time who had admitted to many of the things that Johnny was alleging. I'm talking Johnny tweeted, Joshua groomed me, and Joshua apologized to him after that.
In fact, none of the...
He did not apologize for grooming him. Did you not read the... Oh my God, bro.
Girl.
I can't read. I'm convinced. They're illiterate.
The claims made by Johnny in our interview were being made for the first time. And from what we can tell, they all do predate Joshua's apologies, which unfortunately do give kind of a blanket apology and acknowledgement of Johnny's experience, which made...
Skip says, you know why she's saying that, right? No, Skip, I don't. Give me
Can I
some
just,
insight.
point out as well that I think Illuminati's going to start putting a class action on these guys for the amount of highlighting they're doing in this video.
I know, right? They better watch out. Illuminati's going to get them. They're using the purple highlighter.
How dare they?
Don't use a torn piece of paper. Don't do it.
That's going to be the next bit. That's going to be the next bit.
I'm waiting for Skip to type why. Why is she doing it, Skip? Why is she doing
Why,
it?
Skip? Why? Reading is what? Fundamental.
Because they can't read.
That's right.
Oh, that was her criticism of Homegirl, that Gabby took the time to hear her alleged abuser side.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That's my
Good
best friend, y'all.
point.
That's my best friend, y'all.
I see why she's smart.
Yeah, because she's trying to validate her own experience at the same time, like tying it back to her. And it's like, dude, okay.
Holy shit, Skip, that was amazing. That's true, though. That's true. You're right. You're right.
made us think that there was no reason to doubt it.
The first time he ever actually denied anything was after our interview. So he had not at all denied anything Johnny was alleging on Twitter, which included grooming.
No, oh God, I hate her.
I wonder why.
Holy fucking shit, I hate her. Oh my God.
No, we just strongly dislike her.
Yes, we strongly dislike. Oh my God, YouTube, stop taking the H word away from me, okay? I don't really say any other slurs. Okay? Don't make that word a slur. Stop.
Yeah, it's a slur now.
I know. I dislike it.
I strongly disagree with these people.
Oh.
He didn't deny any of that directly to Johnny. But after our interview was the first time he ever said, hey, this is being embellished. And we found that to be like, hey, now the person that you admitted to hurting is on a bigger platform and you don't want this to spin out of control. Had he tried to tell Johnny, hey, I mean, I know he said like, you're being vindictive, but even when he was telling Johnny, I feel like this is vindictive, he didn't say, you're lying about me.
No, he kept saying, your experience is valid and your pain is valid and I apologize.
Why is she saying that with like a laugh in her voice? Can you see? It's like so disbelievable. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't negate your life and how you feel, and I'm not saying this to erase your experience. He's not saying he groomed him. You know what he's talking about? You know what he's talking like? He's talking like a therapist. He's talking like he's been to a therapist. That's the kind of language oh my God. Bro.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't tell somebody how they feel about something. If they feel that way, then they feel that way. But that doesn't make what they're saying, like, true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's not admitting to the fucking grooming, you dumb.
I just want to like point out as well, like this must have weighed heavily on him to be writing all of this at 4:34 a.m. in the morning. I'm not sure if anyone can see that in chat because of the clouds covering it, but
yeah,
that's like a weird time to sort of sit there and respond to all of this sort of stuff. It must have really got to him in a way where he couldn't wait. So
Look at this. Look at this. After years of suffering, healing, and growth, I'm here trying my best. I finally crawled out of such a dark place, a place that almost killed me. I'm human, Johnny. I didn't do things the right way at times, but I never intended to hurt you ever.
Yeah, he's apologizing for his feelings and how he felt, but like it's nothing to do with grooming.
Stan, stop trying to get me to say bad things.
Apologize. Everything that Joshua said made us think that he was accepting accountability for the things that Johnny was accusing him of.
So we have this series of events where I'm like,
Ding,
you're
ding,
basically
ding,
admitting
ding,
to doing
ding,
all of
ding,
these.
ding, ding, ding.
Oh shit! Kendrick
Whoa.
tipped $100. Got. Oh god, hold on. I have to go look at it. Hold on. Excuse
Got
me.
the merch. It looks amazing. Thank you so
Oh, is that what
much.
it says?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh,
thank you so
Kendrick.
much.
Thank you. I guess the girls get paid tonight. Just saying.
Hell yeah.
I'm not giving them anything. You know why? Because I have to put up with them.
That's fair.
Bunny, of course it would be. No, yeah, well, yay! Thank you, appreciate
you
it,
so
Kendrick.
much.
That's
That's
so
awesome.
awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can we get 07s in the chat for Kendrick, please? Pretty please, with
Absolutely.
sugar on top.
Giving you milk if you've got it in chat too. Thank you so much, Kendrick Llama.
Yes, totally appreciate it. I'm not a member of this channel, so I can't give the milk, but you know.
Wow, not even a member of our channel, I see.
Why do I have to be a member? Shut up. Just shut up, Rynnie.
It's for the emojis. That's what it's about.
I mean, we do have the cutest emojis, still saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
let's
have to
keep
fix some of
going.
those. Yeah.
Things, and then you just want to be like, hear my side. I don't take kindly to that just because of my history, and that's when people are like, she's too biased. She just doesn't like pay attention to when there's facts in front of her. There was no facts. It was a man who was not presenting information that exonerated him, asking for our platform.
How do you prove a negative? How do you prove a negative? You cannot.
To tell his
Still
side.
asking for
And at
that.
You know what? I would like to say that I now understand Nicholas Diorio.
Yeah. More and more as the stream goes on, we're like, yeah, Nick, we get it.
As this video goes on, I just would like to say, and I swear to God, I don't know how many's in the stream right now. How many people are in here?
142 I've got.
Okay. So this is between me and 145 of y'all. And if this gets out, I swear to God, I'll deny it. Okay? Nicholas Diorio was right.
Yeah.
Might clip that.
Justice for Gabby Hanna.
She said it.
Okay? And I'm telling y'all now, you tell him I said that, I'm going to deny. That's right, Neon. Just saying.
Flip it.
that time, it felt like the absolute opposite of what we should do. If you can present proof that this person is maliciously lying about you, then absolutely, we will hear your side and we will correct anything. But that wasn't being provided. And so we had this moral dilemma of correcting the record, but also feeling like we didn't want to allow someone who was accused and admitted to certain things to silence what we believe to have been a victim.
And we want to make it clear that had there been even remotely a hint of denial or trying to challenge some of Johnny's claims before our interview, we wouldn't have had him on because it would have been one person's word against another. But we were under the impression that Joshua was admitting to doing the things that Johnny was accusing him of because of how many times, like, it wasn't one statement, it wasn't two statements, it was several statements where he acknowledges what Johnny went through and says that it.
But he didn't admit to the grooming. He was telling him, I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That doesn't mean he groomed him.
They've lost the plot armor.
I don't understand how they can say that, but the door don't swing both ways. Like, Johnny didn't give anything concrete to make anybody believe anything either. So how can you, I just don't understand.
Besides doctored evidence that proved that he was texting back and forth.
Skip, the Gabby Hanna justice had nothing to do with that part. It had nothing to do about that part.
No.
I still think Gabby Hanna's a piece of crap. I don't like Gabby Hanna at all. Ugh.
I like her. She's just misunderstood.
Yeah.
That's
valid. So we definitely didn't think that he was challenging Johnny's entire account of what happened because he didn't.
Really quickly, just to touch on what he did lie about on this podcast, because he did flat out embellish several parts of his story that I believe he, again, just kind of took advantage of the fact that he had proof for just enough to not be doubted for other things. But he did lie and say that Joshua made Johnny go to shows multiple times. And looking back, this is something that we could have pressed him further about, because in my head at the time, it did not make a whole lot of sense.
Yes, we for sure could have pushed him harder. But again, the nature of our show.
How exactly could he have made Johnny go to those shows?
Well, that's the thing. Didn't he just turn up to places? Like
With
he
his
just literally
family.
was just there. Yeah.
With his family. Yeah. But Johnny,
how did he make
Josh
him?
make
Yes.
Johnny go to those shows? What?
Yeah, that wording's not right there, is it?
Made no damn sense.
And how we had that conversation play out was very much having Johnny tell us his experience. We weren't trying to interrogate him.
Yeah, I feel like if I remember correctly, I think Ethan mentioned something along the lines of he wanted to press Johnny further and be like, so how are you groomed? But it didn't feel appropriate. So I think we had a few moments similar to that where there was like small things. It's not like if Joshua didn't make Johnny go to shows, that would have changed everything. But it just was like, should I press more about this? Maybe that's not the most appropriate thing. So I think that's something to take into account for the future. If we ever interview someone again, accusing someone of something as serious as this, is to have to get a little bit uncomfortable and just be like, hey, can you elaborate on X, Y, and Z? Just because that is the responsible thing to do and what we should have done. We should have followed our gut in certain situations and made him elaborate on them, because that would have made it seem more obvious that he wasn't being truthful. And mind you, our interview was the second time we interviewed him. Our first 3-hour interview, the audio got completely destroyed, or the video, or one of the things, I forgot what it was. And we had to refilm it all. So we kind of already knew at this point, and he just kept repeating the same thing, which was the sentiment that Joshua and Colleen would kind of like tell him, hey, come to the show, but would never comp him tickets. And he also even alluded to like, they didn't even like buy plane tickets or anything like that. Like he made it seem like they really invited him out, that they should have covered everything.
Yeah. That situation where he was saying like he was like he personally got invited to the show or whatever, and then he got stranded at the airport because an Uber wouldn't pick him up or some random crap, and then they personally wouldn't go out there to pick him up and drive him. It's just like, dude, what do you think this is? Like, this is like the ultimate, like, in your head parasocial relationship, right? Like, he thought he was so much more important to them and a part of their lives than he actually really was. Like, and that's kind of where it gets convoluted at that point.
Yep.
Am I wrong?
No,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
He painted it as they were inviting him like as a friend, kind of, was actually a much more casual, like, you should come to the show.
And like literally Swoop shows on Twitter, it was like a announcement of Joshua being like, I have a show. And he's like, I have to come. And Joshua's like, cool, come. Like conversations we've had with fans before. Like that's not at all the same thing as come to my show and then not comping any tickets, which now looking back, obviously it's like, if they didn't comp tickets, it's because he probably wasn't invited. But I didn't, you know what I mean? Like those are connections that are easy to make now.
Well, and also it is implied in Swoop's documentary that the relationship between them was not as close as Johnny portrays it to be, and that he was a bit more of an obsessive fan versus having this really close relationship with Joshua.
But at the time of us
Now, knowing all this, and you still said what you said about Josh.
Yeah.
Right.
You just said that Johnny was an obsessive fan, but yet you still just said what you said about Josh.
Yeah, they don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
Because they're sprinkling all that stuff and go, but that's the thing. They're putting all these like, you know, the stuff that actually happened against like things that they like. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know exactly what
I
you're
can't
trying
put the
to say.
words together right now. Yeah.
filming our interview and at the time of our update, really the evidence that we had was not only Johnny saying that they were close, it was kind of Joshua being like, sorry for getting too close. And looking back, I can see how some of what Joshua said might have been just trying to like appease or validate Johnny's feelings and wanting to take accountability for any place where he might have, you know, slipped up or whatever. But ultimately what actually happened is that he did these like blanket apologies that were able to be taken as admissions for a lot.
No, they wouldn't. If you actually read the words that were written, no, they wouldn't. They weren't admissions to grooming at all. They were admissions to other things and how Johnny was feeling, and then like it was inappropriate to whatever. You know what I meant, Skip. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he never admitted to grooming. He never apologized for grooming.
I've got a kind of an open sort of question there. It's like, how Johnny pretty much like messaged him like 20 times over the span of like 4 years and got like about 4 back or whatever.
Well, it was 20 DMs in total between the two of them.
Okay. So, like, at what point and where did Josh ask him to take over that Sarah account? Like, is there another like platform where they were messaging that's not come out? Like, is there somewhere else that
it was in the video? It was in the video.
Okay, because I think I totally missed that or something. Because I'm thinking like there's a whole other like area that hasn't been like shown, and I wonder why that hasn't been shown. So I don't know.
I think. Wait, was it?
Because I don't remember that being in that.
It was in the video about him taking over the Twitter.
Was there proof of that in DMs?
Was that the text message?
Was there a text message?
Yeah, there was. Remember, there was one text message that he would show, but he won't show all of the text messages.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah, that's
he texted. I was right. Ha ha. Thank you, Anon.
Yeah,
he texted. So it was the one text message that he will show. And remember how they caught his ass because of the text message, because people don't clean up their screenshots and they get told on themselves because of their screenshots? Yeah, it was that text message. Yes, right. It was in the text message. Yes.
So this is the one that Johnny claims is lost to the dead computer or whatever.
Well, the whole series of text messages are, but he was able to quote unquote grab that one.
Yeah, just in time before everything shut off, right?
Yes.
How convenient.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
A lot of these things, and I just hope in the future with anyone really, like if you're accused of something and you didn't do that you stand your ground. I was like, do not.
Wait, what is Stan talking shit? Yes, Skip, I don't know why they find it so hard to be wrong. Okay, I don't know about Chat and Xylie or the girls or in the call thing. The only thing I got from this video is how great is the fact that she still has Pete. You know what? I'm not reading the rest of that sentence, Stan Marsh. You almost got me, Stan. You almost got me.
Not admit to it and apologize unless it is something you did. And I understand also the nuance there where it's like Joshua, although I wasn't a fan of Colleen or Joshua, so I didn't really, like I knew they had gotten divorced, but I didn't really follow that whole saga. He seems to be more vocal now about the kind of like treacherous internet relationship he has, you know, where he's just like terrified to speak up because her fans are always up his ass. Like, you know, it's just this like
because
bullying.
When they split up, she very much like had a hate campaign against him.
Right, which is not surprising at all. And it's also something that I acknowledged in our response where I gave him that. I was like, I have no doubt that you've been through some shit with Colleen. I've been there where it's like, okay, you can heal from something and then literally it pops up again and it just feels like you're fucking right back there. I understand that. And I'm not doubting that you went through some shit with Colleen, and especially knowing how nasty she is, I can't imagine divorcing her. But at the same time, speaking from experience, there are times where you have to muster up like anything you have left, like every bit of energy you have left to just say your truth, prove your truth to the best of your ability, and then go. You know, just leave it at that. It is a disservice to yourself to not do that and to not...
Oh my God. Shut up. How long do we... okay, we only have a couple
minutes. Stand up for yourself in situations because things can spiral so horribly out of control. People are going to take things about you and say them anyway, right? They're going to have... If someone has this strong opinion of you, very rarely, even if you shove proof in their face, would they believe otherwise. But it's worth doing. And like, I wish that he hadn't apologized. And this is not like me trying to blame him, but I just wish he hadn't apologized for things he didn't do if he didn't do them, because it allowed Johnny to have such a voice when he didn't deserve to have that.
Just as our interview empowered him to go on other podcasts and make up more things, I think that Joshua's apologies empowered him to go spread the narrative that he wanted to, because it was basically co-signed.
There are a few more claims that he made that are not true that we want to clarify really quick. One of them was that Joshua went on a coffee date with Johnny. Johnny kind of alluded to this multiple times, but then looking back, it's kind of easy to be like, oh wait, he kind of danced around that question, because we did ask him multiple times, hey, did you hang out with Joshua? And he would be like, yeah, you know, we went on coffee dates and stuff, and kind of just threw in things like that. And we're like, okay, but he didn't. So the coffee date that he goes on to describe on multiple interviews is him showing up to an auto show that Joshua was doing, and then them having coffee in the convention center surrounded by people.
Which is obviously a far different thing.
With the family, with the whole family.
Yeah,
the whole family.
So how was he groomed? So ladies, okay, since we want to say that Joshua said he admitted to grooming, how was he groomed? I need y'all to explain to me how he was groomed. Like, seriously.
According to
I need these two to explain to me how Johnny was groomed. And you still have the balls to say that he admitted to grooming Johnny. Oh God.
Yeah, I love how they keep giving him the advice of just muster up anything you can to say your side of it. He tried, and y'all ignored him and blocked him. Like,
bro.
And them meeting up and having a one-on-one, like, private relationship. Now, there is some tricky, kind of context here, where later on, after our Johnny interview, we covered something that Adam McIntyre showed, which was Joshua and Colleen befriending, it seemed, these super fan girls that were like vlogging their whole journey to go to the Miranda Sings show, and they were so excited. And then it ends up with them in their hotel room all being friendly.
And I even say when we cover that we aren't even implying that something sexual or anything illegal by any means went down, but two adults had their young teenage fans alone in their hotel room. It seemed very, very normal and comfortable for them as well.
Yeah, and it's important, again, to insinuate the no sexual thing, because we have maintained that opinion this entire time, both covering Colleen, even though she has weird things with Adam where she was like crossing the line for sure, and Trent obviously, but when it came to Joshua, we even had to ask Johnny multiple times what was his motive, because we don't think it was sexual. So why did he want to become friends with teenagers when he was an adult? And what we ultimately came to was that they craved that attention, that attention from their fans, that was that all-encompassing attention where it's like, you do no wrong, you're amazing, and it just is like this ego boost, which Joshua again has kind of admitted to.
Okay, I'm done. Okay, we're going to the other part.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, Johnny is just saying it was solely for power, which is worse than sexual.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's,
of course.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that I was gonna say that at one point where it was like, how was he groomed? Just remember that Johnny basically like hang down to that Josh has an ego, that he has a god complex, and that Johnny entered a contest and won a ball of duct tape. That was how it was
we
groomed.
know Joshua's in AA. You said it several times. We know Tua.
He's
Okay.
improving himself.
Yes. Okay. Now, at this point, this is what the video should have been.
The best. So now that we've clarified the claims that Johnny made on the show, we want to be clear about what we've learned and what we're sorry for and how we want to move forward from here. I think to Joshua directly, we are sorry for a few things. I think we are absolutely sorry for not including you in our statement, like we mentioned. Maybe people wouldn't have liked how we condensed it, but we should have tried and like just put him in there, because if it was me and the tables were turned, I would be pissed if I wasn't mentioned too. Absolutely. So we are sorry. We are also sorry that we allowed Johnny, regardless of the context that we had at the time. Looking back now, knowing what we know, we are sorry that our platform was used to hurt you. And I also just wish that we could have had more information at the time so that that didn't happen.
Because our intention was absolutely never to purposely spread misinformation, to paint Joshua in a light that was not accurate. And I hope that the false claims that Johnny has made about Joshua do not continue to follow him around, because he does not deserve that. And he is trying to, it appears, to take accountability for the things that he did do. And we're sorry that Johnny took advantage of that.
I think personally where I feel like we can try our best, even though, like I said, it is against everything in me to be like, let's hear this guy out who's accused of something. That goes against my entire soul and body. Like, I have to be honest with that. But I think that considering evident. The crime we're talking about or the accused thing we're talking about, I think there's degrees to this for sure. I think that we can open an avenue to allow someone who is accused of something.
This part should have just been the video. The whole 44 minutes before that shouldn't even have been in the video.
Yes.
This is what the video should have been, right here.
To send us proof of something that they'd like for us to either correct or...
One of those people who try to over-explain and they end up making themselves sound worse?
Yeah.
That was the first 44 minutes of this video.
Yeah.
Literally. That was the first 44 minutes of this video.
Completely take out, or anything in the future, if we get anything wrong, we need to have a kind of way to handle someone saying, hey, they're lying. And I can't say that looking back, if we would have opened, let's say if he would have emailed us and we would have said, hey, okay, let us know what happened. And it was just his words saying like, none of that happened. That isn't going to be enough for me in the future, if I'm being honest, to be like, oh, you weren't accused of anything after they've admitted to things and there's enough evidence. We need like something to hold on to, something tangible, even something like the proof that Swoop showed of the DMs, where their DMs were like completely not weird at all and not strange. And it was actually just Johnny like, hey, can I come? Like it was like very much a super fan. Like even something like that, anything.
And yet you still say he apologized for grooming.
I and what was not weird about the fact that Johnny deleted so many texts from his side? What was not weird about that? Tell me about this.
God. I think what they're saying is that nothing came weird out of Josh's side of the deal.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he wasn't
right.
saying weird stuff to Johnny. I think that's what
But
they're trying to say.
Yeah, but the thing is that the speculation shouldn't just be on Josh. It should have been on Johnny as well, and the fact that all that stuff on that side was just completely erased. Like,
It's crazy.
That we can consider, we want to be open to in the future in terms of having the option for someone to send us evidence that they are not guilty of what they're being accused of. Otherwise, really, what we're hoping for is that we don't run into people like Johnny. Again, I could say it a million times, hindsight is 20.
Bitches, you're on YouTube. You know you will. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I am done. I'm done.
Actually done.
I'm actually done.
Okay. What did they like? Did you watch the end part? What did they say at the very end? You didn't watch it?
I don't know. Do not care. But
fair enough. It's basically a reiteration of the whole thing. I guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
That whole 2 minutes should have been the whole thing. Because their first 44 minutes was absolutely ridiculous. It was mind-numbing. Oh my God. It was ridiculous. Like, they still maintain that he apologized for grooming. He did never apologize for grooming. He was apologizing for how Johnny felt when he stopped talking to Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was about. Oh my God. Reading
I would
comprehension.
love to. Yeah, I'd love to hear these two read a book or something and then tell us what it was about.
Yeah.
Oh,
They'd
that
write
would
a whole
be
nother
so
story.
Interesting. Yeah.
Honestly, this video was so dumb. I just sat back and ate my breadsticks.
All right. Anything else?
My brain's throbbing.
No.
I got nothing for this. They
Just
displayed
yawn.
their ignorance.
All right.
Oh shit. No. God damn it. No, go back. Go back. No.
Mhm.
I
Alright,
messed
chat.
up. I messed up.
What'd you do?
No.
Second worst apology of the summer, says Anon. Yep. We all know what the first one was. Yeah, this is the longest not our fault video. Oh, dude. Absolutely. No.
I
looks
messed up
like-
my damn shit. Damn it.
Looks
Don't
like
mind me. Go ahead.
we have
Yeah.
a poll that says member stream coming up. Are you a member? Ooh.
Yes and not yet. I like those choices.
Ding, a ding, ding, a ding, 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 a
If
ding,
you
ding,
would
a
like to
ding,
become a
ding.
part of the member stream, which is coming up very, very soon, click that little link. That's linked.
Colleen's ukulele just tipped us $3.33.
Nice.
I don't know what it says though. Hold on. It says, these girls can use me for their apology if they want. Like the stream and subscribe. Yes, please. and
From
thank you.
Colleen's ukulele. I love that. Oh god. Blindly believing people makes someone like Johnny. Blindly believing people makes someone like Johnny possible. It also diminishes the stories of real survivors. That's a problem, and why we need to be more discerning and careful, as hard as that is. That is absolutely true, Sage. I absolutely get that.
Kendrick,
Well,
thank you for the
whoa.
10 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Kendrick. Woo!
you.
Hell yeah.
All right, all you members, make sure you stay tuned because we do have a member stream coming up very soon after this one. We've got a little bit of fun, a little bit of something different, and I hope you can join us. Make sure you stick around.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
having issues right now, so hold on.
Milk bottles in chat, Milk 7, woo.
Oh man, I got rid of my chat. I'm so angry.
Oh, man.
I'm not happy right now. All right.
No, at least your window isn't small.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
At least we
I
haven't
don't
got
have
a school.
no, I don't have a chat at all, Rynnie.
Oh,
Oh.
well, that's
That's a problem.
Yeah, I just said that. There we go. Hold on, I think I just got it back. I got it back. Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Woo! I'm better than Matt Pitt. I was able to fix mine. Let's go. Hell
Good
yeah.
stuff.
All right, cool beans. All right, are we doing the members like I do mine?
If you want to do it like how we did last time,
I don't
just open it up.
remember how we
I
did
think
it
we
last
had
time.
it open and then we closed it to members.
Okay, so like I do mine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool beans. We can do that. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get out of here. The poll, you want to close the poll? I'll end the poll.
Sure.
All right. Are you a member? 62% not yet. Okay, I want that 62% to go down to 20. No, I'm just kidding. You're good.
Or at least that 62% click like on the stream. That would be really, really helpful for us to get an algorithm and all that jazz.
Hell yeah.
We've got 124 people watching and only 57 likes is what I can see here. It's like, what's going on there? What's going on there,
Yeah,
guys?
man. We need
Yes, like it on the way out. Oh my
Like
god.
it on the way out. Absolutely.
What are you
Can't believe.
doing? We're at 60 now.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Keep going.
Okay,
keep
that
going.
was a good video to watch. I'm glad we watched it. I got to let off some steam. Now I'm tired, but we got to do this members only stream.
Yeah, we got this. We're going to make it fun.
All right. All right,
It's gonna be
so
fun.
I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. I'm going to do the outro. Ladies, you want to say goodbye to everybody to tell them hello in a couple more minutes?
Yeah,
Goodbye.
yeah, absolutely. Bye, guys.
All right.
Stay safe.
All right, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm going to run the outro, and then we're going to go and put up a members stream coming up next. So yeah, we'll see you there. Bye-bye. Hold on, I gotta get the music. I can't say goodbye yet. Okay, here we go. Bye.
Watch me.
I'ma get it how I wanna get it, you don't get it. I can do anything, I don't got a limit. I'ma make my mind up, I'm committed. It might take some time, might take a minute. I won't give up, I don't give in a shit. I do what I want when I wanna do it. Call it a power or call it a gift. I call it persistence or driving some wit. I ain't no minute man. Good things take time when I'm in it, man. Give me some time and I'm with a fam. Now I'm gone too far from the beginning, man. I can teach you, but you gotta listen. I got lessons, all lessons to give them. Think the masses are open and wishing and thinking and driven and cutting the ribbons. And they know they don't want it more than me. I work hard, they call it a disease. I work hard so I can go be free. But I don't work for anyone but me. But it didn't start like that. I was 9 to 5, didn't feel right. Had to get in touch with myself, get my mind back, to figure out what I want in this life bad. And I don't regret it, failed a lot, but I learned my lessons. Got new moves, new things, new weapons, and now I finally got direction. We ain't got no time to be complacent. You only got one life to go make a statement. Everything you want, it'll all be waiting. So put your mind to it and you can become greatness. So don't quit, don't stop, push through it. You got dreams, one life, go do it. Make moves, improve, keep doing. A new life, new you can choose it.
Watch me. Watch me.
Let's go.
Watch me.
Gotta really wanna catch hands, no face off. Everybody know I got plans to take off. Everybody know I got bands, no J's on. I'ma do life like me, no days off. I don't really care what you think about me. Hate for the minds up like a disease. Filling me with fight, some life energy. Knowing that I'm doing something right. If you hating, I just try to keep my mind real vacant. I took all my time in the basement. I spent half my life impatient. It was worth all the time and patience. Get it? The way I said it. Never mind, I don't have time, forget it. You can read all my rhymes on Reddit. They need to feed and damn it, I fed it. I got my eyes on the prize. I tell truth, don't hear no lies. I don't take, I give and guide. I don't break, I live and fight. On the chase, I got the sight. Vision goals, I set them right. Working through the lonely nights. Worth it on the other side. If you try to make it fast, it won't last. Take a stab, make it bad. Face the fast, but still lag. Don't give up, don't look back. You got this, no stopping, no quitting, no stalling, no options. You're running, follow your dreams and find your calling. We ain't got no time to be complacent. You only got one life to go make a statement. Everything you want, it'll all be waiting. So put your mind to it and you can become greatness. So don't quit, don't stop, push through it. You got dreams, one life, go do it. Make moves, improve, keep doing. A new life,
Watch me.